Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Indian Captains. My name is Shoaib and today I'm going to be talking to you about a very important book that all pilots have. It's called the Pilot's Logbook. Yes, right from the day you start your flying to even when you retire, you're going to have these books where you're going to be logging all your flying hours on a day-to-day basis, on a flight-to-flight basis. So this is a very important document, be it for your interviews, for your job requirements, or anything, or any at given point of time. This is a valid document. So stay tuned. I'm going to be discussing how you log flying hours right from the scratch, and also for those who are looking to convert the license from foreign to Indian, what do they need to do with regards to the logbook. So all that is going to be discussed in this video, so stay tuned. First things first, when you start off your flight training, you will be logging these flying hours in logbooks. There are various brands, which it's not very important with which brand you're using, but yes, the data mentioned on the logbooks are important. So you will be obviously logging in your date of flight, your time of flight, your duration of flight. You will also be logging the departure aerodrome and the arrival aerodrome. You will also be logging what all maneuvers you've done, or what has been the exercises taught on that particular day. And there's going to be, obviously, if you're flying with an instructor, he or she's going to sign that off. The flights whenever you fly with an instructor would be dual flights, or called flight training flights. And whenever you fly solely, or you do your solo flights, that's when it's going to be logged as solo flights. And with regards to you logging flights under the day or night column, that depends upon the time of flight, and accordingly you will be marking them. So this is a basic idea, and obviously the number of landings you do also will be mentioned. So the total flight time in the logbooks will be mentioned at every given entry. So after you finish entries for that particular page, you will sign it off attesting that all the above entries are correct as per your knowledge. So this goes on, and as per the various flights, once you for example in India, you'll be doing a dual flights, you'll be doing a solo flight. So depending upon what has been logged, that amount of hours will be shown in your logbook, and obviously signed off by your particular instructor. Moving on to a particular important topic, once you start doing your solo flights, yes, you will be logging them as PIC, or pilot in command flights, or solo flight, whatever column is mentioned in your particular logbook, and you will be logging your hours under that. And these are very important hours, because going forward, this is a requirement for your issue of CPL. Even with regards to your landings, yes, your landings are important, and you need to mention it. Make sure you do not fudge any of the entries, which can be criminal offense. Moving forward to the second part, where you're trying to convert your license from a foreign license to an Indian license. This is a very important and an important situation, where early days they used to DGCA used to tell us to hold a separate Indian logbook where you write the Indian requirements. Why do they do that? Is because the requirements that you fly abroad can be different from what you do here. A simple example is, in US, for example, where you do something called as a buddy flying, where there's another pilot sitting with you, but you're doing cross-country flights. When you're on sole controls, you log them as PIC, but when they are flying, you log that hour as well, but as a safety hour. But those hours are not valid in India. So there were various other situations like these, where the Indian requirement would not meet once you come back for your conversion. So DGCA would request you all to have a separate Indian logbook. But however, if you remember, you're not actually allowed to have two logbooks, but you can hold one with all your seals from your respective CFIs, and this particular flight school showing that is valid entries. So that's point number one. Point number two, with foreign and Indian logbooks. So your Indian logbooks, in case it's better to maintain one, so that you can clearly mention what hours as per the Indian requirements to match from your foreign logbook. Make sure to write the time of departure and time of arrival. This is very important in your Indian logbook, that you need to write your time of departure and time of arrival. Remember, all your flights that you have done with an instructor are dual flights. You will mark them or write them under the dual column, and all the flights that you fly solo, or you do your flights after you have got your first license, be it PPL, then you can mark them as your PIC flight. Keep in mind, whenever you do your instrument training, IR training, that is when you are under the hood, or you simulate the scenario where you're not able to see outside and you're flying just with the cockpit instruments, that's when you will lock those hours also as dual. This is as per DGCA rules and regulations. Those hours will remain as dual hours. However, you will also mark them under the simulated instrument or actual instrument time where you have been using instruments for that particular flight. So that time also is required and is important for your issue of CPL. This is with regards to you flying you're flying up to your instrument rating in abroad, or even in India, where whenever you do certain type of flights, make sure you log them under the separate heads. Moving on to your multi-engine training, whenever you do your multi-engine training, as per the rules for a multi-engine, you need to have a multi-crew cockpit, which means that you need to have more than a pilot sitting in the cockpit. So you usually have two pilots, that is you and your instructor sitting. Yes, after a certain amount of time, initial hours are usually logged as dual hours with the instructor, and once the instructor deems you fit, you need to have also some hours under the PIC. But however, here the PIC hours will be called SPIC in some cases, which is called supervised pilot in command, or it's also called, in India we call it P1 under supervision. So pilot number 1 under supervision by another person. So those are the hours which are almost equivalent to your PIC hours, just that we write that because it is under the multi-engine category. So make sure you write your single engine flights under the single engine category of your logbook, and multi-engine flights under the multi-engine, because at the end your sum totals, when you carry forward every page totals to the next page, at the end when you're submitting the logbook, you will get totals which have to be verified and sealed off by your particular flight school. So wherever you do your flight training, make sure to get seals on your logbook. They do a test and give a serious impression as to that being legitimate. Okay, yes, there are instances where there has been a lot of cheating and fudging. Those pilots have lost their licenses. So be careful, do not cheat in terms of your flying hours. It is your experience. I don't see a reason why you'll need to do that and show more experience than what you are, because that's going to come to haunt you in the course of time. Moving on to my third point here. So I've explained to you as to what you need to do with the logbooks and how you need to maintain it. Yes, something that is very important is when you do your flight checks in India. When you do your flight checks in India, when you record them in your logbook, yes, we're not. If you are a pilot who's trained abroad, yes, we're not used to logging the chocks on, chocks off time of departure, time of arrival. That is what is considered in India. So make sure you write that down, and if at all you do not have a column, just mention that in the remarks section. And if you are a US pilot, I'm sure US or a Canadian pilot, you make sure you guys mark it in hop time, right? For example, 1.1, which means 1 hour and 6 minutes, 1.5, which means 1 hour and 30 minutes. So whatever you've written in the Canadian logbook, make sure you write that in hours and minutes in Indian logbook. That is what is taken in India. So if it is a 1 hour 1.0 hob, so that's going to be 1 hour. If it's a 1.2, the 0.2 will be multiplied by 6, so that's going to be 1 hour and 12 minutes. So make sure you write that in hours and minutes format if you're maintaining an Indian logbook. For your flight checks, your instructors will obviously, your DPEs in a particular flight school will obviously check that and make sure that you log the entries correctly. And all your flight checks in India, we first initially have a FAM flight, which is called a familiarization flight before you go into your flight checks, which could be area familiarization and getting used to the aircraft, because you must have flown after a long time, and that flight will be logged as dual flight. However, subsequent all your flight checks, be it your day check, night check, IR check, will all be P1 under supervision. If you do not have a column, if there are spare column, please start maintaining it as P1 under supervision and lock your hours in that. And all your flight checks, however, in which various regards, let's say even if you try to do it in a different place, the things remain the same. When you're doing your flight checks, mark them as P1 under supervision. I hope this is clear. And if you're doing your recency flying prior to your flight checks, yes, you will have certain number of flights till you are released for your solo flights or for your PIC flights. Those flights will all be dual hours, okay? And whatever you fly post that will be marked as pilot in command hours. Your fourth point in this particular thing is you maintaining a logbook with all your endorsements. Yes, the current rule for your conversion says that you need to submit the logbook that you have used in your parent country for your CPL, which means if you have flown in Africa, Australia, or even New Zealand, or even US, the logbook that you have used should be submitted for your conversion. That is the first primary document, upon which even if you have maintained an Indian logbook, you can submit both just as a proof for as a supporting document, if you can understand the scenario. So this is with regards to how you need to maintain a logbook. Please make sure you do not mess up how you've written. Every log is important because you're countersigning that to being important. Another thing that I remember now is the endorsements that you take in your flight schools in abroad or anywhere else. Let's say your solo release, your the SPICRs, or whatever specific endorsements you take on your logbook, and they stick that and they sign. Your CFI signs it. Those endorsements also need to be submitted. So make sure you do not just forget about your foreign logbook. They are super important. And if at all you're maintaining your Indian logbook right from the country where you're doing, it's nice that way because you can counter do it. But I'm sure CFIs would not want to sign in two books. They would sign only in one. So it's all right. Don't worry about it. But just make sure you get your seals by the particular school saying that your logbook entries are verified and are correct. Okay, so these are very important concepts and important points that you need to keep in mind with regards to your logbook. However, an important feature has come up here where we are using eGCA for logging our hours in India. That is basically an setup of DGCA, and there is an logbook as well where you need to enter all your logbook entries. If you haven't done that, make sure you start doing it. And if at all you're facing issues with eGCA and you're not able to understand, comment down below. I will try to make another video if at all you all need more data as to how an entry is logged on the eGCA. It's a very simple system, and things have become very simple moving forward from here. I hope this video has helped you and given you a better idea as to what has to be logged and under which head. Please keep these logbooks. They are very important for your license issues and your renewals as well. Keep this in mind moving forward. If you like this video, give it a like, and if at all you have any doubts, leave it in the comments down below. For any further clarifications, you can also get in touch with us on our social media handles. They are in the description down below. And so far, if you've been enjoying our videos, make sure to subscribe and share the videos with your fellow friends who also would want to pursue their careers. And for those who have just seen this as my first video, check out my other videos where I've explained to you the various steps to becoming a pilot in India and abroad. And do not forget to hit the subscribe button here. It definitely helps us. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.